In the last lesson, we talked about how to convert from decimal to binary. This time around, we're going to do it the other way. We're going to convert from binary to decimal. And this is another one that's a little bit involved, but it's not complicated. So if we take each binary digit and look at its place, the same way you would look at the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands place in a decimal number, you can see that that can be represented as an exponent. So if you think to your thousands place in a decimal number, that is something times 10 to the third. And that works the same way in binary, but we're working with 2 to the whatever. So your far rightmost digit is 2 to the 0, then 2 to the 1, then 2 to the 2, and so on and so forth, until you get to 2 to the n minus 1. So we're going to show how to do this really quickly, and I do want to point something out. If you look at your far rightmost digit in binary, that will tell you whether your number is odd or even. If it's a 0, it's even. If it's a 1, it's odd. So, repeating our steps, but going backwards, we're going to see that the number we get from this is odd, for 1, and that we should get 75 at the end. If not, we did something wrong in our last steps. So let's look at our numbers here. So starting from the far right, we have 1 times 2 to the 0. Oops. 1 times 2 to the 0 plus 1 times 2 to the 1 plus, we skip 1 times 2 squared, 1 times 2 to the third, plus, we skip 1 times 2 to the fourth, 1 times 2 to the fifth, and we do 1 times 2 to the sixth, and then, of course, we skip 2 to the seventh. So let's simplify this equation. 1 times 2 to the 0 is 1. 1 times 2 to the 1 is 2. 1 times 2 to the third, that's 2 to the third, is 8. And 2 to the sixth, it's best to know your powers of 2 up to at least 16 to make this a little easier. 2 to the sixth is going to be, I believe it's 64. Yes. So when we put these all together, let me just put this on the same line. We get 64 plus 8, that's 72. 72 plus 2 is 74. 74 plus 1 is 75. And so that's how we convert from binary to decimal. It can be a little tedious, especially if you're converting like a word that's 20 bits long or something like that. But it is very easy. If you do not know your powers of 2, you should know them up to 16. But if not, there's no shame in just using a calculator to figure this out. So, next, we're going to talk about converting to and from hexadecimal. So, tune in for that.